Hello all, it's Anni here and warmly welcome all to this little quitting caffeine support live, and I hope you are all doing well there. I just thought that I wanna do this little update and support live, reassurance live for you. I did wanted to take a little break, like I was supposed to take the break till next month, but I was just too well, how I say, like I had still, because I have been feeling so much better, I have been still wanting to do some kind of videos in my channel, but I haven't done now in a while in English because I have been doing more in Finnish and also other kind of lives where I have been just wanting to, read the Bible and speak about Jesus and like all kind of other topics also. So I thought that I now still want to do a little bit support live for you if anyone have any questions, and just to give you the reassurance that it's just time. It really is just time. Hi Jaakko and welcome. But yeah, and a little bit my own update too. So now it's like 4 years and 7 months completely caffeine free, no chocolate, nothing. And that's how my channel did start. If there is a new ones out there, if you just did subscribe or you are wondering what this my channel is all about, of course it's have been changing a little bit in these years because more followers have come and other people maybe are following my channel other reasons. So this is still the support channel for caffeine quitters, but because I'm just starting little forget this my own experience, I don't think about it anymore so much. I have been really like starting to feel that I'm almost there. Like I just feel good, normal. And now I have been also able to eat all the foods. Like, of course, I don't take anything, any forms of caffeine, no chocolate, anything, but I have been able to eat dairy. I don't have any single problems that I used to have all my life with dairy. I don't have any problems. I even was trying to eat gluten, even that one I don't go back like probably fully yet, like never fully, but I have been able to eat that. No problem. So this is, guys, pretty wonderful. My anxiety is very minimal. I just feel happy, peaceful. Sometimes I used to, like, I take naps still. But like other than that, I'm good. Like I feel positive. I feel very motivated. I have all kind of these ideas that I wanna do so much, all kind of lives, and just you know, guys, after this kind of like, and yeah, almost 2 years. Yay! Hyvä Jaakko! Yay! Congrats! Like, guys, after this kind of experience, like that many of you are now going through with your symptoms, with your daily doubts that is this still this withdrawal, is this still brain rewiring, is this connected to still the quitting caffeine. I think me and Mandy, we have been done a really great work with this supporting work, which nobody really does like this way, that it is really a long journey for many. Like if I would want to say something for myself, if I would be now in my 2nd year or I don't know, 1st year, I would say, Anni, it's gonna be 5 years for you. Take it or not. And of course, in that point, I would say, no, it can't be. I'm not the one who have long-term pause. But that's how it is really for many. And that's why when I was about the 1 year free, I also made my Discord, and I made the Discord because of that I really wanted to support like other caffeine quitters in their journey. But even then I didn't have this kind of information how it is all really rewiring. And the further you go in your journey, you can just notice that how those symptoms, sometimes they change, some symptoms can disappear, then they come back, then you feel this, then you feel that, but you never feel normal, never feel motivated or good fully. Maybe you have good windows. Some people doesn't have windows, they only have like heart up till the end. Some people have windows and waves. But it's all about your nervous system. When it's dysregulated, your nervous system starts to come back to regulated state. And for many of us who did quit cold turkey and so-called fall off the mountain with the drug, I like that saying because me and Mandy, we have been using that because that is just good explanation what happened to some of us when we did end up this really vicious anxiety cycle, and then our brain just started to do this rewiring and body, and it's like a process for many that like it's even hard, like, you know, guys, that it's hard to explain all what you went through to other people when other people who are so-called normal, feeling normal in their brain, if they don't have anxiety, or if they don't I think many caffeine users have anxiety, but they don't just connect that with caffeine, because caffeine really is causing so much anxiety, depression. You know, it's a hell of a drug. It narrows those blood vessels in the brain, and it's like really stops the blood flow in the brain. It does all kind of, it raises your cortisol, adrenaline. It's cause you that chronic stress state, and this prefrontal cortex, it cannot function like it should. So for many caffeine quitters who have been really long time in the drug, and even if you haven't been really long time, if you so-called fall off the mountain with this drug and you end up having this anxiety cycle, which you start to have these panic attacks, and not everyone will have this high anxiety in their journey. There are all kind of caffeine quitters. Some just have like really bad fatigue and tiredness and like low motivation, and that's their symptoms. But then for some of us and you who are following my channel who have these really severe symptoms of anxiety, and your brain and body is really doing the rewiring, your nervous system is doing rewiring, you just have to remember it is all healing. It's all healing. I know it feels horrible. It feels horrible because you just feel that your brain is never normal. It feels that you never can fully put your focus to things that you love, or you just never feel normal, or you feel stuck in your brain, or your brain just feel that it's disconnected and it doesn't function. And I know it's a wild ride. It really is a wild ride, because nobody outsider of the experience, they just see you as a person who is supposed to be you, but you can feel like a prison inside your body and head, and you are just waiting that when I'm gonna get out from this prison. And then you start to slowly have these moments when you feel a little bit better, but then again not yourself again. So that is all normal. And then I have been experiencing just lately that I have been just able to, you know, put my brain in some, for example, music or whatever I do, reading, and I can just stay there. I can just stay there and stay and be deep in experience, which I couldn't done in those years, because when your system is in their fight or flight, and I'm sorry about my English, it always goes like this when I don't speak English for a while, that I'm starting to like rumble with my words, but it's a really cool feeling. And it really tells that your nervous system is calming down when you are able to just be in the experience, whatever that is, and your brain will switch that experience to another, instead of like being in that constant doubt or you know, wondering what is wrong with me. Ja nyt on Lontoota. Joo, nyt on vähän takeltelevaa Lontoota. Tervetuloa Midnight Arrow. But you really do get better, and that anxiety really, it does go away. And I know it's for many people who are in this journey, you are also like spending a lot of time Googling. Some of you have messaged me that you cannot do anything else but Google symptoms and what is wrong with you. And I know how it feels, and how I know how lonely it is, and all this relationship stuff, that when we are going that we are not able to connect, we are just disconnected in our own little bubble. It feels like everyone else is living their life. And even those first Christmas, like for me, those first three first Christmas was just not really nice. Last Christmas was all like first my Christmas that I was really like able to starting to get connected. But even that wasn't like, I wasn't fully there. But now this Christmas, I know it will be my best Christmas. I just feel so much connected and connected to God. I did find Jesus in my life. That's one thing that I'm gonna speak, of course, more in my channel future. I'm gonna read also Bible in English in some point. Now I'm just reading it for Finnish because I'm just like getting to know the Bible myself. But like the religion is really important to me, the God, just spending time with my loved ones. Sometimes in this, when I really started to feel better, after 4 years, I was still like very emotional. I was like, I think that my dopamine receptors was like, and I read about it, that when your dopamine receptors and all those receptors and neurotransmitters starts to communicate again, there can come a period that you are a little bit sensitive before they really starts to, you know, run. Think about this, like think about this electricity. What would be example, like, because we are full of nerves and those neurotransmitters that communicate, hormones that communicate. In this journey, that communication doesn't work. Like it doesn't work. Like messages doesn't just go through. You are just all over the place. But when they start to communicate, which means that you really start to have dopamine about like natural things you really want, you start to crave dopamine, but like food makes you happy, exercise, you really feel really good after that. Like before in this journey many years, when I did do exercise, I just feel dizzy or like horrible even after. But now I don't feel like that. I just feel normally, my muscle just feels normally tired, which is so amazing, not feeling like weird in my head or, you know, always this and that. But even Savo, yeah, Savo, yeah. But even like that, all weirdness, what you feel in your brain, and those of you who are further in the journey, 3 years, 4 years, wherever you are, you have still some symptoms, not feeling completely there yet. It's normal because it takes a little bit time before you're kind of adapt. So if I would have to say like what is the difference like 4 years and now, there have been still happening a lot of that adaptation, like adaptation back to life. Like even I think like just some like 2 months ago, I was experiencing, I don't know if that was a wave, but if that was a wave, it was like a different wave, like then that 35 months wave, which many people can have, that one really bad tsunami wave, which me and Mandy have been talking about. So I haven't had anything like that after that. But it can be like when you go further in the journey, which means that those critical parts of your system have been healed, like the nervous system heals first, it calms down, your brain starts to heal in so many ways. So those critical parts of your body needs to heal kind of first. Your body always prioritizes what needs to heal first. So it heals the things that are more important first, and then maybe a little bit later it starts to heal, like for example this prefrontal cortex, which is important, that you can be like very logical, you can be rational, you are able to control your emotions, and that one is what caffeine is really messing up, because caffeine is like making you in that, it's like activate that limbic system and those like primal parts of the brain, which means that then you are really not ever able to use this prefrontal cortex in that way that you should. And chronic stress can also cause all kind of like even structural changes in the brain. And some of you did message me really well that Anni, I feel really that this is like a my brain structure is changing back to normal. So that was a really good comment, and thank you for that, because I also felt like that. I really have been feeling that structure of my brain, which did change into caffeineism, because we adapt, like you know, we all adapt when we abuse drug, and that's why I just always wanna point that that's why it's so important to stay out in this journey all of the mind altering drugs, because that we would have the best possible possibility to rewire. But some of you, I know it's not possible for you to quit all the drugs at once, so then you just do the best you can. But it's really is that like in the nutshell, it is like adapting back to normal. So that feels weird if the body did do those changes during caffeineism, and there can be also some structural changes. So that's why we feel so weird, because those are the healing symptoms. But okay, I take comments and then I continue a little bit about that other kind of healing that I'm experiencing. Hei kaunis Anni, tulin just kaupasta ja käytiin myös joulukaupassa. Nyt alan kokkailee perheelle joulupakettiin Rocky Roadia ja itselle pannaria. Miten sinä voit? Kiva kuulla Anni, hyvin voin tänäänkin ja kiva, että siellä on käyty joulukaupassa ja saat vähän siellä kokkailla. Toivottavasti Anni sielläkin on kivasti kaikki. Kuulostaa ainakin, että olet siellä ihan hyvässä voinnissa. So let's say that when your body and brain, they just heal first those critical parts, and then some of us, for example me, I had some of the, like, we all have our traumas. So this one is a cool, some of you have been asking about trauma life, and I did promise that at some point I do that. So this is what have been really cool in this journey. So naturally I have been starting to able to process those old behavior patterns that I had since really, really early childhood, because I had that OCD since I was, I don't even remember, 10, even younger than that. I had OCD. I don't have that anymore. No intrusive thoughts. Never. That's like, I don't experience that. It's healed. But what I do experience, it's that those behaviors that we kind of start to have if our nervous system is dysregulated. Let's say that we are children and we experience some kind of trauma. And then we take caffeine also. So our nervous system kind of adapts with that experience and with the poison too. And that's all about survival. So that's all about survival. We start to behave maybe in certain situations. We can have like people pleasing, for example. It depends like what we have been experiencing in our like early childhood, for example, like for me, for example, I have had really hard to trust people, and I have been many times like really acting like really with anger, because especially in those times of the month when my hormones are fluctuating in the periods and ovulation. So I have been starting to like able to repair those old behaviors just itself, like even if I don't even do nothing, just itself, like it's really cool kind of that's just something rise up and I see, oh, I don't like this habit, this is old habit what I used to do. So when you notice that, like now I speak about behavioral stuff, like if you start to feel more back to yourself, but then maybe you still notice that you have some of the behavioral stuff that you were learned because of the survival state. So it's really cool that now I have been starting to rewire those old behavioral patterns and just like be able to be just so much more like compassion and and worry less. Worry less is the thing, because see, this is the thing. I think it's really, really a lot of like that nervous system dysregulation, like these all symptoms that you have in this journey, you can just put all them under this rewiring. The anxiety is rewiring. So you can put all those symptoms kind of that under this rewire umbrella, anxiety umbrella, what you ever want to call it. But what many of those anxiety coaches, which I have followed many, trust me, what Annie says, I got PTSD due to the withdrawal. Yes, Annie, but I think it can be because, are you 4 months in? I don't remember how many months. I think it can still be part of the process, because I sure felt like really long time that, oh my God, I'm gonna have the PTSD, what I went through. But when the time goes by, and I'm sure that with benzos, it can be the same thing, that when the time goes by and you start to just forget the experience naturally, when you start to feel better and more functional, it can be that you don't maybe have PTSD. Or I don't know, of course, I cannot say for anyone else, but I would give Anni also more time still, and just focusing what you can do, because you are healing so nicely. You have been healing so much. So try. I know it's hard, but still trying to always focus what you can do. Even I know when we are healing, we usually focus in those what we cannot do, because we want to be 100%. Everybody wants to be 100%, and I sure know that, because I was so impatient. So we get stuck in that cycle, that even if you would feel 80% or 90%, let's say that you feel 90% healed, you still have 10% left. You are focusing that 10% that is left, because you are noticing that is where your focus gonna go, because as long as you have anxiety, as long as you have symptoms, that is where your focus gonna go. But me now being in that really cool state where I am actually able to like rewire those old patterns, just noticing them and kind of like experiencing them, I think it took that your nervous system have to be regulated, as you can kind of go in the deep root, those root behaviors that was there trying, even when we are on caffeine, always our experience, they tries to go in the service. They tries to go in the service so that we can rewire them. But for me, at least, I was so heavy caffeine addict all my life. So my body just didn't have the energy to rewire those old traumas or patterns, because I was constant state of fight or flight, taking caffeine all the time. So my nervous system was really like dysregulated. But now when my nervous system is regulated and functioning better, so now my body is like, oh, now when you feel more safe and you feel connected, okay, now we can take a little bit more of this stuff. And it's not fun always. Of course, it's not pretty. And maybe this is not happening for everybody, because we all have different kind of pasts. And not maybe some people, when they have just this pause and withdrawals, and then they don't have maybe these old patterns. We are different ages, to remember that we all have a different backgrounds. So we are individuals in that sense, and we have like a different genetic, like, what is that word in English? Like material. And I didn't take any of those vaccines in my journey. I haven't taken any vaccines like pretty much like 20 years at least, because I don't remember what class I did when I took, but I just don't want to take any of poisons. I speak about the dangers of vaccines. So I just want to say that you the people, that also us who don't take anything, like, no, I don't take supplements, I just eat food. Now I'm able to eat all the foods that I want without any symptoms. It just takes time for some of us to rewire even we don't put anything to our body to like interrupt. It's just time. It's just the rewiring takes time, and this is, I think, the most important message that I just want to in my channel. I just want to say that the symptoms are healing. That's also part of that no virus information that I have been sharing in Finnish in my channel now more, because I really even think that many of the food allergies is because of anaphylaxis reaction from the vaccines. And that is a new topic that I'm now diving really deep into, that anaphylaxis. I will do maybe English lives in the future when I'm more educated about that. But I really think that there is explanation, really natural explanation of all kind of symptoms that we have, and that the symptoms are healing instead of that our big pharma is making us to be so worried that there is some kind of virus that attack you or whatever. But same with this drug addiction healing, the symptoms are healing. I don't know if that makes sense. Hi, Christopher. Soon, 6 months. Hopefully these symptoms will pass. Let's hope. 2 nights without meds. Yes, good, Annie, and congrats. 6 months. Yeah, I'm really sure that just time. Even 6 months is not so long. Even I know it feels long, but like many benzo quitters also, it can take just more time. So just keep up the good work. And hi, Christopher. I would say poke instead of we word so you don't anger the YouTube gods. Yeah, that's true. But do you know what, Christopher? I have been making pretty, how would I say? Like, I have been able to share the material here in my channel about this no V. Okay, let's say no V. No, let's not say virus, but this no V topic. That those videos are not being censored or removed. So that's really, I was like, what? And I have been done a few videos about the vaccination stuff and even this anaphylaxis stuff, and videos are still there. So there's something have been happening with this censoring in YouTube. So I don't know, I'm very hopeful that in the future I can do just more videos about that topic too, because I just feel that it's so important, because still so many people are unfortunately believing those vaccines and taking those, and for me it's just I just can't understand that. But each on their way, but I just, you know, my recommendations, you just know those are the natural. And this is not judging. If somebody have to take medication during this, you do what you do, but I just recommend you to, if you just can, if you just somehow can go with that anxiety, you have checked yourself in the doctors, which many people do, and they don't find anything, as usually that goes like that with the caffeine quitters, that they end up in the hospital with really bad panic attacks and really bad anxiety and symptoms, and with really bad stomach symptoms, which are really common in this, all kind of stomach symptoms, diarrhea, acid reflux, burping, constipation, all kind of stomach symptoms are so normal in this. So that's why that's part of the rewiring, because your system doesn't just work fully connected yet. So then people end up in hospitals taking all kind of tests, and they come back to normal. So when you have done that, if you do that, and you know it's just anxiety and rewiring, so then you just eat food, drink water. I know that it can be that you cannot tolerate much foods when you are rewiring. At least for me, I just felt always like just uncomfortable eating foods. Like it doesn't matter what diet I tried, it wasn't the diet, because now, like I said in the beginning of this life, I eat whatever I want. I don't have any problems, nothing. I eat what I want. Like that's just, I just didn't thought that can even happen, but it probably just was always the caffeine and anxiety. But yeah, so healthy diet that works for you, water and exercise and rest and avoiding stress. I know there's always the same same stuff that I'm repeating, but those are the things that I recommend. I feel fortunate. I'm 56 and I'm not in any pharmaceuticals. Yes, that's so good, Christopher. Yes, you are very, very fortunate. Yes, stomach stuff are the things I'm still experiencing, but I have way less anxiety of caffeine, so that's great. Yes, that's really good, and that's really normal to still have those stomach stuff for a while. It just takes a little bit time before every symptoms will rewire. And what I did experience that it was around 4 years when I really then I was really seeing that okay, now this is coming back. But there was this some people say that it is like when your receptor starts to function, like first it can be that there's connection when they are like new connections your body have been making. I don't know what is even it makes, like, because it's all the neuroplasticity, your body makes those new connections. It actually makes new neurotransmitters, like receptors, and fixing whatever it does. So it's almost like you're driving with the new car, and it takes a little bit time when that new car, you get used to drive that new car. So first it can feel that when you feel more healed, that you feel sensitive, like almost like experience that, because I was feeling so long, depressed and anhedonic. And then when I started to feel good, it was almost overwhelming feeling, so connected. And then also some things I did to get frustrated. For example, I couldn't stand if somebody was putting some bad comments, and I knew that I knew that this is still the part of the process, that being sensitive and not being able to tolerate that. But because now I'm just rewired more, so I don't really care what people think about me and my channel, and I can just be grateful that I can share this information. And also I know that one reason probably why people are so doubtful about this caffeine stuff is that people doesn't wanna believe that it just takes time. That I think is the one reason why it's been like how I said it, the hard pill to swallow, that yeah, caffeine can do this, not just benzos, not just alcohol, not just some other drugs that people think drugs. So that is still for many people really hard to swallow, because they are just at how that can be, that caffeine is everywhere, everybody drinks it, is so normal. But for me, I don't see caffeine anymore that it's normal. Yeah, it's normal in our society, but how I see caffeine, I think as it is a poison. I see it as a poison, and the drug, definitely a heavy drug. And for me, it's even the most scariest drug in the world, like really after my experience. So, but of course, it's on their way, and not everyone will fall off the mountain with caffeine for sure. But you can check the comments on my lives, that that we are not the only ones. We are not the only ones. There are really, really many people going through this and trying to quit. And the more people have been coming all the time, and now we are getting close to the end of this year, so the next year there will be many more new caffeine quitters, and I warmly welcome all of new caffeine quitters here too. So but there is no judging in my channel. If I don't really care if somebody use caffeine or drink Red Bulls only all day long, but I sure did learn my lesson, and I wish that I would have learned this a little bit earlier. But it feels really nice to be now like learning this in a hard way. So yeah, shortly, it's all rewiring. I don't think that you're gonna have PTSD with this caffeine quitting experience, for sure. I don't believe that. yeah, feeling just wanting to do more other stuff. Just even speaking of this is, it feels like it happened to someone else. Like you just start to get like naturally more away from the experience when you heal. It goes for your best. And now, like I said, I'm doing the aftermath, like those behaviors that were there when I was growing up, how I did behave when my nervous system was back then already very dysregulated. So now all these behaviors are rewiring, and that's of course is really good. So hi Yuppi Star. Hi, can you please tell me something about depersonalization, DPDR? I'm experiencing this for the first time. Is it normal to have a kind of dizzy feeling with DPDR? Yeah, it's very normal. Yes. For me, DPDR really started, it didn't start it right away because I didn't know what that was. I was just always saying that I felt weird in my brain, but yeah, it's very normal. It's very common symptom. That's part of your brain healing. Definitely. Very, very normal. Feeling disconnected. For me, I did felt, if you want to hear how I felt that I was just disconnected from, for example, this room. When I was in this room, I had DPDR. Everything was just like, almost like in a dream. Like, it didn't feel real, or it felt like that there was some kind of barrier. Like, now when I look, things I'm very focused. I see things clearly and like normal. Everything looks normal. But when the DPDR also is anxiety symptoms, it's part of the survival. So it just like feels that you are disconnected, maybe also from yourself. For me, it was a lot of disconnected from my body. Like I felt weird. Like even when I was trying to do exercise, I was just felt weird. Like I'm not in my body. Even I was in my body. And then also disconnect from the environment. So I don't know if you feel that. Yeah, I'm kind of dizzy. You can feel kind of dizzy. Even if you stand up, you can feel like kind of dizzy. It's normal. Also, when we quit caffeine, the blood flow starts to come back to normal. So we are not used to also that blood flow. And because those neurotransmitters and those hormones are not yet function, their connections are not functioning like normal. We're just feel like, whoa, like it just takes time before the anxiety goes away. Yes, so I don't know if that was the good answer. Yuppi, I've had a lot of low-grade dizziness in my journey of caffeine. Slowly gets better. Yes, I'm still trying. I'm almost there. Yes, very nice, Manny. Very good work. And the thing that you are trying, that is the first thing. And like I always say, like we have to meet you where you at. Like meet you where you at and be patient. You have been starting to do the quitting work, and maybe tapering is the better way for many. Like I still get some every now and then I get message that people message me that they have been using this and this amount of caffeine and they already have really bad anxiety, like panic attacks and anxiousness and like all the like mental issues. DPDR can be also for some people, or can have that during the caffeineism, and also bad intrusive thoughts, bad anxiety. So for those people who ask me that is it better to cold turkey or taper, I will always say the taper. But then if you did cold turkey and if you did already fall off the mountain so cold, which means that you did end up having these severe symptoms and anxiety and all these panic attacks and you are just can't go back to the drug, and I don't even recommend that. You will still heal. You will heal even you are already. If you didn't know, for example, I didn't know anything because I just thought that caffeine is normal. That's where I started my journey. I thought that caffeine is normal. I didn't have any like other information. So and now that's why I have so much empathy to people in my country, because I see it all the time. Like even today when I went to the supermarket, and now there is all that Christmas stuff, all the Christmas chocolates, all the stores, you know, are full of that, energy drinks all over the place. People are just buying tons of energy drinks. Tons of kids are with the energy drinks. Even now the little kids, they are doing all kind of those videos in YouTube that get ready with me and my energy drink and all this. So it's like people doesn't know the information. There is not enough information about dangers of caffeine. And what I would want, that they start to put also the warnings and in the all those products, but it's not like happening. And you know, I share what I share, but there are still so much that false information in the mainstream media and all that. You know, it's always that when you look at the mainstream media, that there is that, oh, caffeine is healthy for you and it helps you with Alzheimer and it helps you with Parkinson and this and that. And then there are those news that maybe if you drink over 5 cups, sometimes it's like that, then it can be harmful. Sometimes it can be that they put the news that over 5 cups is healthy for you. So there's like, it doesn't make any sense. They are not putting the truth out there. That's why I always say to read the caffeine blues. And it's not enough to say to people to read the caffeine blues, because only real thing that you know how caffeine is affecting you is that you quit that completely. And then many people come to my channel and then they say, Anni, I did quit caffeine and I'm now 4 days in and I don't have any symptoms. 4 days in, you don't have any symptoms necessarily. You have to quit longer time. 6 months, 12 months even, it's not so long time in this. So you can see, because when we first, same with the benzos, there are some benzo quitters, when they quit benzos, first they don't have really anything. But then the pause can kick a little bit later on, which happened actually for me. The first 2 weeks, I just really didn't understand what was happening. I wasn't having like severe anxiety. It took me a little more time when those panic attacks started to hit me. So, and of course, I don't wish that for anyone, but just like, if you quit caffeine only 4 days, you have been using that really long time, or even if you have been using that some few years, you don't see the benefits. Yeah, that's like, everybody should just understand that quit, and then quit all forms of caffeine, and if you can, all mind altering drugs, and chocolate included. This chocolate question is it's tricky one, because I think I'm the one of the, I don't know how many people are this strict for chocolate, but I'm surely am, because chocolate is caffeine. It contains caffeine and theobromine, which are the byproducts of the caffeine anyway. So yes, you can be a caffeine addict just using chocolate. Yes, you can. People can have withdrawals just quitting chocolate if they haven't used any other forms of caffeine. So yeah, all forms. There is other treats that you can have. Stay away from the chocolate. At least I don't. I'm just eating chocolate. Yeah, this is just a little bit freezing. But the caffeine quitters who are going through this, many actually have been saying that if they have been starting to use chocolate, suddenly their symptoms will start to disappear. But then they end up even more worse situation, because then you kind of are just messing with the system. Like, think about if you have been an alcoholic, you start to mess a little bit beer. It's not gonna help. But yeah, but you know it yourself. Yeah, it's hard because chocolate is everywhere. Yeah, it is, and that's why this Christmas time, I know it's really hard, and I don't know what are your habits, but for me at least, when I was a kid, we always have this habit that in Christmas Eve we could eat chocolate as much as we want. Like there was no limitation. My mother never said me that, oh Anni, that is too much chocolate. No, everyone was, no, it's Christmas, you can eat everything. but I was really hooked on the chocolate. I know that some of you who are in this journey, you are not so hooked on the chocolate. It depends on person. Some people haven't even eat chocolate who are on this, but then there are some of like me. And even before this, when I thought that I was really healthy, doing carnivore and all this stuff, I was still having some dark chocolate. And by the way, guys, dark chocolate is even having that dark chocolate contains higher amount of caffeine, of course, because the more darker the chocolate is, the higher the caffeine content is. So just keep that in mind also. It's so annoying when cereal and rice cakes have chocolate on them. Yes. Yeah, they put them so many stuff. But I have been still finding a lot of other good goodies to eat. Like if I wanna treat myself, I eat pizza. I actually did eat pizza today. So sometimes I made pizza myself, or I just go to take a pizza, or for me it's more like salty treats. I haven't gone back to sugar. I know that some of you probably will ask that question, because I said that I am able to eat all the foods and I'm eating. So yeah, I'm eating all the foods, but I haven't gone back to like any sweets. Like I don't think so that wouldn't be even the problem, but I just don't wanna go there because I will be a sugar addict for sure. So for me, if I wanna treat myself, which I will do and do sometimes now when I can, I eat a pizza or hamburger or something salty. That's kind of my weakness is now, like the good pizza. But I don't keep that for a weakness. I think we deserve to eat when we can and if we don't have a problem. But I know some of you wanna stay strict, you are carnivore or whatever, so do what you do. But for me, I just love the food. And I can actually feel that my nervous system is so much more calmed that I can tolerate. Like I think that's part of this healing, that when your nervous system calms and your system will heal you, you are not there in the fight or flight. That's where your body can actually able to process food, because it cannot process the food when we are fight or flight. We know that. It's all about that parasympathetic like rest and digest and connected state, when we are really able to like digest food. And then some people ask that, yeah, but I'm using like tons of caffeine and I don't have any problem. Well, to see if we are a chronic caffeine users and you are just all the time taking caffeine, your body is just some people say that they cannot poop without caffeine. Yes, because it's a poison, and that's why it's really bad for your digestion and it's really bad. Like it can make holes to your like intestines and there's many things that it affects because it's a poison. So it's not good, and it will, with time, if you drink a lot of and take a lot of caffeine, it will cause digestion issues for many people. But when you quit, you really see what is your situation. I used to love chocolate, but I stopped eating due to the fact that I'm trying to quit caffeine. Yes. Maybe you will find some other treats too, or I don't know, if you wanna something sweet, maybe you can have just like vanilla ice cream, or what is in English like toffee. I don't know, like there is other stuff than chocolate. What Richard says, I also like salty more and fix vinegar chips so much that sometimes I think maybe I should do a pregnancy test. I love also those salty vinegar chips. Even I haven't had them now in a while, but those are good. I didn't think I had problems with caffeine either. I didn't connect my anxiety issues with caffeine. Yeah, that is really common. People don't just connect, and Steven Chernisk is speaking about that a lot of in the book called Caffeine Plus. I have a lot healthier treats like cashews. Yes, and nuts. Nuts can be really good. Many people have a lot of like allergies, also the nut allergies, but I'm really thinking that that is for many people that can be because of vaccines, and that can be because of anaphylaxia. Because I really think that we don't take any poisons and stuff, we should eat whatever. That's my opinion. But I just think that many people have these all kind of allergies because of the poisons, and also because of the wax. Fruit, recently I ate a whole thin can of Danish butter cookies. That's not healthy, but at least it's not coffee. Yes. Yeah, and don't be so hard on yourself when you are like quitting, and because many people will crave a lot of, like, when you quit caffeine and other mind altering drugs, it can be that you just crave food because you feel just your dopamine is so low, and because your body have used to get that dopamine hit all the time, and it have been adapted to that, and then when you are not, taking caffeine and those adenosine receptors are not blocked anymore, you are just tired and feeling weird, and you have so much craving. So just be empathic for yourself and eat food. Eat food. At least, like, if the food's gonna help you go through withdrawals, eat food. Then it's also gonna be that it's normal to have those blood sugar issues in this journey before your blood sugar levels go back to normal. So it can be like, for me, it was really long time that I always should have a snack. I couldn't fast. Like, now I can fast if I want. I don't have any problem. But before, my nervous system and my system was just so, I don't know, my blood sugar was just so up and down. So I felt that I did need to eat like really often. And that's part of this journey, part of the healing for many, that it takes time before your blood sugar levels will go also back to like normal, and you feel like that you are not, you actually start to like feel just not hungry all the time, because when your system like kind of rewires itself, you start to just naturally know when you need to eat. But when I was a caffeine addict, and we know that caffeine is a gay drug, I always felt that crash. You know that crash that you have your morning coffee, then you are like you can do all the things, and it's keep you like wired, and you don't feel hungry. But then what happens middle of the day, if you don't get more caffeine, you just have that crash. Your blood sugar will crash because it raises your blood sugar. Of course, because body thinks that, oh, there is a danger here, so we need to deal this stuff, because it's an inner danger. So being in that cycle, many people will end up like that, oh, I can eat so much, or you maybe eat like tons of food and you still don't feel satisfied, probably because caffeine stops those nutrients absorbs, like your nutrients do not absorb in a way that they should. So there's a many thing how caffeine interferes our system, and the long-term stress that it will cause, I think that is the huge issue for many people. That I was speaking with my friend, I think we speak about that many people just don't ever know that their nervous system is dysregulated because of caffeine, also that they are just so used to that. Like for me, because if you have been living in that state since childhood, you are used to that, and your nervous system always wants to choose familiar chaos instead of unknown peace. I don't know if you get this. So your nervous system wants to choose the chaos if that is something that it feels familiar. Like that's how your nervous system have been functioning. Like when we did adapt. So that's how we did learn. Our system did adapt. That became our normal, which is not normal. It's not the optimal. It was the normal us, but not the optimal. So that's why for some people, for many of us, it just takes so much time before we adapt back. And that is like we know it's not always pretty and it's not always fun. Healing is never fun. Like even it's healing, but it doesn't feel fun. It's not feel like, yeah, I'm healing. Sometimes it feels like that, but very rare. Usually anxiety feels that always that there's something going on and why this and why that and is this normal and is that normal? Everything is normal. What you are wondering now about the symptoms. And you can check my symptom list. I have done that. Many videos I have speak about symptoms if you are wondering, did I have this and that symptom? I had so many. And they all have been disappeared. What else? Yeah, I think this is about it. And we will do some point more videos with Mandy. Then when it's good time, we will do maybe for the other topics too. We will do like I think that I really think that I have been sharing everything. I just shared everything about this topic. I don't know what else could I share. Of course, every now and then it's good to me to just update how I'm doing, but I'm really feeling that by 5 I'm really 100. I'm there. And then some people have been saying to me who have gone through this that even after that it gets better. Like that, I know that some people have said that even in 5 years they have been able to do it all, like going all over the place. It's just doing everything. Just they be able to do everything. They have so much more energy. They can be present where whatever they do, and after that, it can even level up. So that's why if you are not feeling 100 yet, just patience-ness. Okay, but if you have any questions now, you can ask, and then I'm gonna put this live together and quit for this time. Thanks for the live, Annie, and have a lovely evening. Thank you, Annie. Yeah, and I'm still, by the way, taking vacation from the Discord because you know I sometimes need to take a vacation for there. So I will come back to Discord next month and then start to answer messages and put their updates. Like I don't leave the Discord, but sometimes I just the social media, you know, it felt so good when I was taking a break from the social media. Sometimes it's just, you do that, people. Take a break from social media if you can. It's because it's everywhere, and like that's something that it's good if you can sometimes take a break. But thank you so much, and I hope this did give you a little bit positive vibe and reassurance. And of course, comment in my videos like you always been doing. I answer your comments always when I can, and just keep up the good work. Instagram also is one that some of you have been messaging me due to Instagram. So yeah, you can do that. I don't use so much Instagram, but that is one of my, like, I have account there. So if you have any, like, if you have questions, you can put them in the Instagram too. And then email me. But see you guys.